Before I tell you what happened, tell me in the comments which country you're watching from. And if you've ever been betrayed by your own family, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this story with someone who needs to hear it. I was 33 years old when a single phone call changed my life forever. At first, I thought it was another scam. The number was unfamiliar, and I almost ignored it. But something made me answer. "Is this Emily Carter?" The man asked. "Yes. My name is David Reynolds. I'm the attorney handling your grandmother's estate." The moment he mentioned my grandmother, my stomach tightened. My grandmother, Rose, was the only person in my family who never gave up on me. Everyone else did. When I was 19, my parents threw me out of the house. No warning. No second chance. One argument turned into a nightmare. My father pointed at the door and said, "If you walk out today, don't ever come back." I thought they would calm down. I thought they would call. They never did. For 14 years, they acted like I didn't exist. No birthday calls. No holiday invitations. Nothing. The only person who stayed in touch was Grandma Rose. She would secretly send me cards, call me every week, and remind me that I mattered. When I was struggling to pay rent, she helped. When I cried myself to sleep wondering why my parents hated me, she listened. She was my family. So when the attorney told me she had passed away, I felt like the last person who truly loved me was gone. Then he said something that left me completely speechless. "Your grandmother left you her mountain lodge." I blinked. "I'm sorry, what?" "The property has recently been appraised at approximately $1,900,000. For several seconds, I couldn't even breathe. A $1.9 million mountain lodge? To me? The granddaughter everyone forgot? I had no idea that news was about to reach the two people who hadn't spoken to me in 14 years. And the moment they found out, everything changed. I didn't sleep that night. I just sat on the edge of my bed, staring at the attorney's email on my phone, rereading the same line over and over again. Mountain Lodge. 1.9 million. Sole beneficiary. Emily Carter. It felt unreal, like someone had made a mistake with my name attached to it, but deep down I knew the only thing more shocking than the inheritance was who was about to find out about it. My parents. We hadn't spoken in 14 years. Not a single word, not even by accident. And yet, I knew them well enough to predict exactly what would happen next. Money had a way of bringing dead silence back to life. The call came 2 days later. My mother's name flashed on my screen for the first time in over a decade. My hand froze before I even answered. When I finally did, her voice sounded different, softer, almost sweet. "Emily?" "Honey, it's Mom." I almost laughed, almost. "Don't call me that," I said quietly. There was a pause. A carefully rehearsed breath on the other side. "We heard about your grandmother," she said. "We're so sorry." That sentence alone told me everything. They weren't calling because they missed me. They were calling because they knew. Before I could respond, my father's voice cut in from the background, sharp and impatient. "Tell her we should discuss the property." So that was it. 14 years of silence, and now, suddenly, we were talking about property. My stomach tightened. "You mean the large?" I asked. "Yes," my mother said quickly. "It's family property, Emily. It should stay in the family." I almost couldn't believe what I was hearing. "Family?" I repeated. "You disowned me. Remember that part?" Silence. For the first time, they had nothing prepared. Then my father spoke again, colder this time. "Don't make this difficult. We're willing to be reasonable." Reasonable. That word hit me harder than anything else. Because in their world, I was never a daughter. I was just something to control. And now that something valuable had my name on it, they suddenly wanted me back. But what they didn't know was that Grandma Rose didn't leave me just a house. She left me something far more dangerous than property. She left me the truth about why I was really thrown out at 19. After that phone call, I couldn't focus on anything. Work felt pointless. Food had no taste. Even the mountain lodge, this place I was supposed to inherit, suddenly felt heavier than gold, like it was carrying secrets I didn't understand yet. 2 days later, I drove up to see it for the first time. The road climbed higher and higher, winding through thick forest until the world behind me disappeared completely. No noise, no people, just silence and cold air that felt like it was pulling me back into memories I didn't even know I still had. And then I saw it. The lodge stood there like something out of a dream. Huge wooden beams, wide glass windows reflecting the mountains, smoke gently rising from a chimney as if someone still lived inside. But I knew that wasn't possible. My grandmother had passed away weeks ago. My hand shook as I stepped out of the car and walked toward the front door. That's when I saw it. The door wasn't locked. It was slightly open. My heartbeat instantly changed. Slow, loud, unsteady. I pushed it open just enough to step inside, and everything stopped. The air inside was warm, fresh, like someone had been there recently. A teacup sat on the table, half full. My grandmother's favorite chair was still facing the window, and on the fireplace mantel, a framed photograph of me. I froze. I hadn't seen that photo in years. I was maybe 16 in it, smiling awkwardly at the camera during one of the few good moments my family ever had. My throat tightened. Why was it here? I walked deeper into the lodge, every step louder than the last. Then I saw something that made my stomach drop completely. A folder, sitting neatly on the kitchen counter, with my name written on it. Emily Carter, do not open until you arrive. My hands trembled as I picked it up, and just as I was about to open it, I heard a car door slam outside. Slow footsteps approaching the cabin, and then a voice I hadn't heard in 14 years. Emily, we need to talk. I turned around. My parents were standing at the door, and they were not alone. Before I continue, tell me in the comments which country you're watching from, and if you are enjoying this story. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who loves emotional revenge stories like this. I stood there frozen as my parents walked into the lodge, but what shocked me even more was the man behind them. The attorney, David Reynolds. The same man who called me about the inheritance. My father didn't waste a second. This is a misunderstanding, he said quickly, stepping forward like he still had authority over my life. Your grandmother wasn't in the right state of mind when she made that will. I laughed, a real laugh this time. Not because it was funny, but because it finally all made sense. You think this is about the will? I said quietly. My mother tried to reach for me. Emily, please. We're your parents. We can fix this. Fix what? I cut her off. Throwing me out at 19? Erasing me for 14 years? Or showing up only when there's money involved? The room went silent. Then I opened the folder. Inside were documents, letters, records. But the one thing that mattered most was the truth. My grandmother's handwritten statement. She had documented everything, every argument, every threat, every time my parents tried to take control of my life after I left. And then I read the final line out loud. If anything happens to me, do not allow Richard and Laura Carter access to Emily's inheritance. They destroyed her once. They will not do it again. My father's face changed instantly. For the first time, he looked nervous. Not angry, nervous. Because now he realized something. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This was planned. My grandmother had known exactly who they were, and she protected me. The attorney finally spoke. The lodge is legally and permanently transferred to Emily. There is no appeal. My parents tried one last time, but I didn't even look at them. I spent 14 years wondering what I did wrong, I said softly. But I finally understand the truth. I stepped closer to the door and opened it. The cold mountain air rushed in. Sometimes, I said, family isn't the people who raise you. I looked at them one last time. It's the person who protects you when they're gone. And then I closed the door. For the first time in my life, I didn't feel abandoned. I felt free.